females are released even earlier at about 16 days. So to impact in the way in which we all know is important. It becomes very difficult.
So what should we do? 'Cause I want to do more, but I'm not the expert. So what should we do to do more?
We've got to.
I mean, how many people are there 9 months? You know, that's one place we could start. However many are there in 9 months. We've got, this is slide 15 says that 2,000 are there over 6 months. If we know that 2,000, I think we should know what percentage of that 2,000, already has a GED or.
We do.
Is there anything that
We do have a slide that shows the educational achievement level.
Where's that?
We'll be pulling it up in a moment.
Is there anything that would prevent you from doing an educational achievement test on the inmates, asking them to do that?
Yes, sir. We do that.
You do that?
Yes, sir. That's a lot of the material that you'll see in that slide is a product of that actual testing, as well as self-reporting. So,
and is the goal then, like, whatever level they are on, to raise it up?
Absolutely, sir.
And that's on that. So we're just waiting on that slide then.
Yes.
What else should we do? Coming back to jobs, what should be our what should we do over the next 30 days to significantly increase the amount of jobs, or at least the strategy for increasing the number of jobs that we have available for our inmates as they're coming out?
Well, I do think we should explore what other apprenticeship opportunities we could offer within the jail system so that they can start getting some of that training while they're in there.
And right now we have what apprenticeship programs?
Well, we have the culinary arts program coming on board next month. We're working to expand. We already have the barbering program at the CTF. We're looking to place it within the CDF as well. And the work squads.
Why is this barbering one such a big deal? I mean, how many barbers do you need in the District of Columbia? I don't get it. It seems like there's barber shops everywhere. It seems like it'd be more important to train people in, like, construction and working on roads and this type of thing.
Actually, I asked the same question when we went. I was like, isn't Prince George's County getting saturated with barbers? And they actually aren't. They there's such a need for it, and there's so many barbering shops that.
There are a lot of military bases.
Yeah.
I realize there's a certain.
Don't go
there. Fair enough, but
there's also an easy job to get into because the criminal background doesn't necessarily matter, and that's, I think, one of the biggest things. And doing construction.
Also to be candid with you, because we're all in the same family here, it also seems like a pretty easy one for the government to set up. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like it's that challenging. I mean, when I was in college, everyone knew how to cut hair. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I think we need to challenge ourselves a little bit more. It doesn't sound too inspirational to me to say that we're teaching more people to cut hair. It doesn't. Just to be perfectly frank, I think we need to challenge ourselves, the people, to become technology professionals. To become experts in the trades, experts in paving road, whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more than this, and I think that if we put our minds to it, we can do it. And then maybe barbering is a small percentage of it as well, but it's certainly not going to get us to 5,000.
So like landscaping,
landscaping.
There are some opportunities, and this would be obviously have to be voluntary, but things like asbestos remediation that pays huge premiums, and other environmental remediation. There are some real green collar job opportunities that are not necessarily high skill, but require some training, require some experience, require some mentoring, but then can yield high quality work. There is a huge slug of construction and remediation that's coming forward as a result of the BRAC process. and either we're going to import that labor from Pennsylvania, West Virginia, or Ohio, or we're going to actually get some of those jobs for the 5,000 a year of people who come out. I wanted to ask, related to that, of the work squads. I know that's something,
Yes.
Director, you've been very emphatic about trying to maximize. Do we know how many work squads we have, how many hours of work that are being done, what the potential hours of work that could be done in work squads, and what we can do to then get you additional work for those squads to do?
We do have a group of city agencies that have responded, and they've responded well to this program. But there is need to have more of the agencies recognize the benefits of utilizing the inmate population and the way in which others have. It's been successful when utilized. I'd like to see it expanded to include perhaps cemeteries, maintaining cemeteries, landscaping projects, things of this nature, as is done in other jurisdictions.
So I'm just curious, in the Parks and Rec, we're going to spend between $2 and $5 million on mowing contracts.
Yes, sir.
The question is, would we have a reliable enough number of people, and would the security requirements associated with developing these work details make it uneconomic or complicated for us?
I don't think it would make it that complicated, sir. We do send out correctional officers with the crews to maintain order and make sure things go as they should go. So that's not an issue. We select who goes out. Not everyone goes out. We rely on our halfway house population, but we could expand this to our weekenders as well. There's a population where the judges sentence for weekends. These people are not high security risk. It's more to deter the continuation of whatever misconduct they displayed. But we do have the population to make this work. Moreover, this type of program gives the offender the opportunity to give back to the community that he or she has offended. It does work.
And which programs do we have already? Do we have any established?
Yes, we do have several established. DPW utilizes our inmates. The health department has utilized our inmates to move furniture and the like. As I said, it's growing, but it is in its infancy.
I mean, this is a real opportunity to, say, partner with schools related to shoveling sidewalks after a snow event, or partnering with Metro so we could clean every bus shelter after a snow event. We worked with a work squad to clean out a building on the McMillan campus that was just filled floor to ceiling with just stuff. But I don't know if it's a resource that we're tapping enough to do it consistently and then create some kind of job readiness and job training component wrapped around with that.
How are we going to move faster? You say we're in infancy stages. What are our plans to move faster?
Well, we do have a convergence on the issues by our other city agencies. Many of them have stepped up to the plate, and they're in that jail. They recognize, as you've articulated, that these are our neighbors. They're coming home.
Could we develop specific goals with deadlines that could demonstrate, if we know there's going to be you can define a population that's appropriate for these programs, so we can put numbers behind calling them successful?